Men aren't worth the aggravation. I swear I will never go out with another man again.
Mike Chulak didn't exactly stand you up.
Can I have a rain check? I'll call later. Qualifies as being stood up, especially after he didn't call. He's as good as his word, which is no good at all, like all men.
Don't say all men.
How could you defend men after what happened at your wedding? You were supposed to spend last night on your honeymoon, not sleeping on my floor.
I still don't believe it's all men. Just that you and I picked the wrong ones. It's our own fault. Whenever I see a woman with the wrong man, I blame the woman for picking him.
I used to think like that. I used to think it was me. Now that I'm batting 1,000, I've come to the conclusion that they're all jerks. It doesn't matter which one you pick. Take my sister, for instance. God help her, she picked a Class A jerk. A husband who wasn't good enough for her. For that matter, who wasn't good enough for any woman. She doesn't know.
Diane Benedict? I'm Detective Kuntz.
Good morning, Detective. Are you here on behalf of one of my clients or on behalf of the prosecutor's office?
Not one of your clients.
I forgot. I have to return all these wedding presents.
I'll help you compose a letter. I've done it before. Dear so-and-so, thank you for your thoughtful gift, which I am returning with gratitude because we'll find a way to say this diplomatically.
Linda?
I'm
Linda?
going to call the police!
Would you please talk to me? Can we talk? That's all, nothing else. Just have a conversation. Just a conversation. Will you let me say I'm sorry? Will you please let me say I'm sorry?
Would you tell him if he doesn't leave, I really will call the police?
Melinda, Can I talk to Melinda?
She doesn't want to talk to you.
Melinda!
She will call the police.
Just want to say I'm sorry.
I'll tell her.
And give her these. And tell her I want to apologize and I didn't hire that stripper.
I don't think hiring the woman is what she had objection to.
Wait. Let me pay for some of the expenses.
You always carry this much cash?
It was for our honeymoon. And don't tell the Lopez's I gave you that. Just tell them. Say the wedding didn't cost as much as you thought.
That's very gentlemanly of you. Talk about mixed signals.
What?
You're a very sweet guy for a two-timing jerk.
Don't leave those flowers here.
Kate. Hi. I brought the car back earlier this morning, but didn't leave it because you weren't around.
I took Melinda home.
Sorry about last night.
Well, there's nothing to be sorry about. I had a great evening with Melinda. We rented a videotape, made popcorn, and trashed men all night.
I had an emergency.
Isn't life like that? Too darn much stuff just keeps happening, one emergency after another.
It had nothing to do with you.
Mike, let me take you off the hook. I'm kind of an expert at this, and my expert ear has noticed that you're not leaping in to ask me out again.
Kate.
It's okay. So I get dumped by a guy straight out of prison who's been showering with men for 10 years. Hey, my ego can take it.
I really like you. But I keep thinking of you as Diane's...
Little sister? I know. I'm thinking of having Diane's little sister tattooed on my butt.
Are you Kate Benedict?
How'd you know? You see my tattoo?
No, I saw your van. May I have a word with you?
You've reached party magic. We make your dreams come true. Tell us your wish after you hear the tone. I hate how I sound on tape.
Most people do.
Diane? Diane, pick up if you can hear me. Bruce just left my apartment looking for you. He is madder than I've ever seen him. So be extra careful and call me so I know you're safe. And divorce him fast or I'll kill him. I didn't mean that literally, of
course.
What was your brother-in-law doing here last night?
It's only a guess, but he was looking everywhere for her. At about 8, I found him in my apartment. He scared me half to death. He was demanding to know where she was.
And you didn't tell him?
No, I didn't know where she was, and if I had, I still wouldn't have told him.
But you called here to warn her.
I knew she was storing her campaign materials here.
You said on the tape, divorce him fast.
I feel sleazy talking to you.
Gosh, how terrible for you. With all due respect, Miss Benedict, I wonder if you can start thinking of someone other than yourself for one moment. Your sister just lost her husband. Now, whether her marriage was great or not, she's going through hell right now. She's got a son to look after. That's why every question you can answer is one she doesn't have to.
Yesterday, Diane found out he was seeing another woman and told him she wanted a divorce.
Who's the other woman?
I don't know. But whoever she is, I hope she dies young and miserable. I didn't mean that literally either.
Were you seeing him?
What a horrible thing to say.
You wouldn't be the first sister that has a thing for her brother-in-law. His body was found in your place of business. It's a routine question. Just deny it for the record.
I deny it.
Thank you. Where'd you spend the night?
At my apartment. What difference? You don't think.
Can you confirm that?
You think that I could have killed Bruce?
I didn't say that.
You implied it. Yes, Melinda Lopez spent the night at my apartment. After her wedding, which she walked out on because her fiancé, and now you're listening to see if I sound guilty, because guilty people talk too much. Is that what you think?
I think you shouldn't take offense when a detective does his job. I also think when we find your brother-in-law's mistress, we may find his killer. But what I think is much less important than what a jury of her peers will think.
Somebody bad shot Daddy.
No, honey. I heard your daddy loved you so much.
Maybe somebody will shoot us.
No, your mommy and I are gonna...
Somebody bad shot Daddy.
No, honey. I heard your daddy loved you so much.
Maybe somebody will shoot us.
No, your mommy and I are gonna make sure you're safe.
Brian, what do you want for lunch?
I'm not hungry.
I'm worried about Brian.
Worry about yourself. I'll get some food into him.
You brought the flowers?
Yes.
That was very thoughtful of you. Thank you.
Has the detective in charge of the investigation spoken to you?
He brought me the news. He'll be interviewing me later.
He needs a lesson in diplomacy.
Detective Kuntz has a good reputation.
Not with me, he doesn't.
It's his job.
To ask if I could account for my whereabouts last night? Me?
It's all routine. He'll be asking me the same question.
I was gonna ask you where you were. I couldn't reach you last night, you know, when Mike and I were supposed to go out. I was very worried. I got scared. I called everywhere. Where were you? Diane?
I'm not going to tell you.
You were here late last night.
He always let me choose between comp time and overtime. Now that's a good employer.
When he came by at approximately...
Approximately 8:30.
And he stayed until?
No more than 15 minutes.